Okay, Mark Vergeer here with a response to RetrogamerVX's tag on generations, game generations, computer generations, and the question he asks us is, which generation has actually given us the most advances in gameplay among the generations of consoles and computers? And yeah, I mean, and he talks about the various generations that there are, you know, the 8-bit systems, the Pong systems, and the latest generation, like the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the 3DS. But which of these generations actually has given us the most leap in technology or gameplay? Yeah, and that's kind of hard, because I do think that the original first line of consoles, like the Odyssey, the Pong machines, actually brought us video gaming in the first place. The Fairchild F, Channel F, they brought us video games in the first place, you know. So they were a huge leap from board games to just regular video games like we know them today. So and I think I would argue that the 8-bit generation actually has given us the most the biggest diversification of video games out there. I mean, it laid the foundations for a lot of game genres that we still know today. I mean, the simple games like Pac-Man, the arcade games, you know, where you have a basically a black screen with a couple of sprites, moving sprites on it. Very simple gameplay, very simple game mechanics. I mean, all these 8-bit games started out like that. But then you would have something more elaborate, which is adventure. You know, it's not just a single screen, but actually a whole gaming era gaming arena that actually was made available. And this actually spawned a whole new genre that was also already available on paper, but the Dungeons and Dragons games, the RPGs, they actually grew quite big on the 8-bit. So I guess the 8-bit platforms created the biggest diversification of games out there. And still today, I mean, games we play on the Xbox 360, the foundations were laid on the 8-bit computers. And of course the 16-bit generation improved on that, but apart from nicer graphics, bigger dungeons, bigger opponents, more buttons, basically the genres available for the 16-bit systems actually can also be found on the 8-bit systems. But in more, you know, more minimalistic form. So yeah, and then the other leap, of course, is the move towards I'm not sure if you can see, yeah, 3D graphics with Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation, of course. That was a huge leap in graphics as well. You know, from predefined frames in pixel art, where actually everything had to be drawn in advance. Animations and new scenes could actually be generated from meshes, from data sets. Very different. The computer could actually was able to generate the images real time with polygons and mapping textures over it. So that is a huge leap, I guess. And also the controllers. You know, they I guess the 32 16-bit 3D generation actually introduced analog controllers, that is analog stick controllers combined with thumb pads, combined with shoulder buttons and that kind of stuff. So that basically are the two main generations that actually created a lot of a huge leap in technology, I guess. So, well, this is my video response. Yeah, waiting again for some mail, and at the same time experimenting with my BBC Tube coprocessor, playing some Elite, a tough game even with the manual. Yeah, and I'll be back with another video soon. Mark signing off.